Now 6:04, and a local retail expert is sounding the alarm about the health of downtown Dayton. He says unless something is done about the growing number of businesses leaving downtown, that Dayton could be at the point of no return. In an exclusive interview seen only on 2 News today, I spoke with him about his bold new economic plan that could be a blueprint for success in reviving downtown Dayton.
I feel like I can turn the city pretty fast, not save it, but turn it for about $30 million.
Retail developer David McDonald says time is running out on downtown Dayton. He says the recent exodus of major businesses, like most recently the departure of Thompson Hine law offices, is putting downtown Dayton dangerously close to a tipping point of no return. But he says there is still time to do something about it. Now, McDonald says city leaders must first focus on the downtown Dayton core. That's the 5-block radius around Courthouse Square. And then he says they need to lure sophisticated developers back to the core. He says they can get the job done, not politicians.
Sophisticated developers took everything out of our cities. You want to start the process of bringing it back, you have to go get these sophisticated developers. They know how to do it. Elected officials weren't trained.
To attract those sophisticated developers, McDonald's believes you have to start by making downtown Dayton attractive to site search groups, turned off by a staggering office vacancy rate of 35%.
Otherwise, site search guys that just look at their numbers on paper will never even come to the city to look.
To reduce vacancy rates, McDonald urges the city continue investing in new housing downtown and to tear down 6 old buildings that aren't historic or heavily used. Demolition that may slash the vacancy rates by half virtually overnight. Now, among the most recognizable buildings McDonald is targeting is the old Key Bank building on North Main Street, the Center City building on South Main Street, and the iconic 111 building on West First Street.
If you tore those 6 down, again, it could be any 6, that's 1,030,000 square feet that come off the rosters. All of a sudden, our vacancy rate goes from 35% to 13%. That makes us one of the healthiest looking cities in the country.
The shovel-ready sites would be converted into free parking or left open for future development.
We'll put you on the map because most cities haven't done it. And cities will never ever compete with the suburbs until they have free parking.
Well, McDonald's plan isn't cheap. It costs $30 million. So he's putting together a private development group of local CEOs called DCCDC, the Dayton Center City Development Corporation.
CEOs of the large corporations have the political clout so that elected officials will get out of their way and allow them to do their thing.
Once established, DCCDC would also develop Scenic Deeds Point into high-rise that includes 250 condos. It would complement the Mendelson condo project across the river next to Fifth Third Field.
We need large trophy residential projects, and we need them on the river. We aren't utilizing this river.
Well, until we do, McDonald says Dayton will not signal those site search groups that downtown is headed in the right direction.
And oh, by the way, you get some trophy residential projects going, all of a sudden grocery stores, retail may start looking at us again because they got to see people moving in, not out, because retailers don't pioneer.
But is this a pioneering plan, and will this plan work? Well, I posed that question to city leaders and veteran downtown developers, and their answers may surprise you. We'll have that for you tomorrow here on 2 News Today. Pam?